Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my general bookish updates video for February, and this is kind of a catch-all video that will go over some of the highlights of reading so far this month, an update on Folklore February, which I've been participating in this month, as well as my TBR plans for March, a general plan, as well as a haul so far in February. And revealing my book club pick for the indie horror book club. So far in 2026, I've read 21 books. And we're not quite to the end of February. I still have another month. Right now it is February 21st when I'm filming this. In February, I've read 8 books so far, which is 2,115 pages and 21 hours of audio. So far, still have another week. I've had 2 5-star reads so far this month. The first one was my indie horror book club pick for February, which was Autumn Crow High, Fresh Hell by Cameron Chaney. I'm going to have Cameron's YouTube channel linked down below. That is such a great book. I have only read kind of a short story novella from Cameron Chaney so far. I still need to read his short story collection, and I can't wait to do so because I've loved what I've read from him so far. Autumn Crow Fresh High is the start of a series of young adult horror books taking place in Autumn Crow, where it is autumn pretty much all year long, and they take Halloween very seriously in that town. And a lot of weird things happen in this town. A great setup for a series of horror taking place in a high school or high school age students. But this book did not hold back on the violence and horror at all. It was a great story, very spooky, and a great introduction to the town. So many great fall, spooky, and nostalgic vibes for this book, taking place in the 90s. Ooh, so good, so good. And another 5-star read so far was We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. And I was so excited to read this book for the Jason's Weird Reads book club, as well as for my horror bingo list. A very fresh take on a haunted house story about a family that comes to the door saying they used to live in this house and can they please look around, want to show my family this house I lived in. The owner doesn't want to let them in, but does reluctantly, and then they have trouble getting them back out again because a lot of weird things keep happening. Very unique. Was not expecting where this book really went, and it had me kind of mind boggled at the end with conspiracy theories of what could be happening, so on and so forth. Love it. Love this book. My other main reading for February was for Folklore February, and I only finished 1 book so far for Folklore February, but I'm in the middle of my second one, and it is, oh, it's so good. I love it so much. And it's a long series with lots of long books. that I know I have to read the rest of the series because I am blown away by this book. So, first one, the one I finished, is a very short one. It is Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. This is like a standalone novella inside of a series that is Beauty and the Beast retelling. And this one was a very cute story. Romance between a scientist woman with a deadly disease and living in a town with a curse where a lot of the people around her are dying, and she thinks she can cure this disease with the blood of a vampire. So she goes and meets the vampire in their town to get his blood and get his help curing this disease. And it goes, a romance blossoms. It was a very cute story. The other book, the one I'm obsessed with, this is definitely going to be a 5-star read, and I hope I will be finishing it before the end of the month, as well as some others. And that is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This definitely has tons of Scottish folklore in it from the Scottish Highlands. This is a time travel historical romance. A woman from 1945 gets transported to 1743 in the Scottish Highlands, and she doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't know what's happened, and she has to live in this very different time, learning the customs and falling for a young man in this time when she's already married in 1945. So, very interesting book. She doesn't know how she's going to get back, or if she can. And there is a lot of folklore in here. I just finished a chapter about water horses, kelpies, but there's other things as well. A big part of this book is the folklore. So, perfect pick for Folklore February, and I'm so glad I read this because I am actually giggling like a schoolgirl over this romance. Like, I didn't know that was still a thing for me. It hasn't happened in a while. I have a new book boyfriend. Didn't know that was possible either. And the historical elements is what puts it over the top as a completely epic, fantastic story. And I am sucked in. It's so good. It is so good, guys. I don't know. This is a really old book. So, if you've been putting it off because of how long it is, like, wow, it's definitely worth it. I think it was from 1991. Haha. The 90s. Anyway. But she's like this. She's was like a nurse in the war. And so when she goes back in time, she's kind of acting as this medicine woman with very different medicines and materials available to her. It's so good, guys. Yes. Happiness. Thank you, Folklore February. Thank you, Cat's Novel Adventures, for bringing this book into my life. Yeah, it's definitely a highlight of my reading this year so far. Next, I talk about some of the books that I plan on reading in March. I just officially got my pick for the Indie Horror Book Club for March, and that is one I'm very excited for. It should be a lot of fun. Our book is I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200 by Robert Brockway. Horror, I'm sure it's pretty funny. I'm expecting it to be kind of a horror comedy. It's about a girl with an imaginary friend that starts to be a little bit much, kind of dangerous, and a contract killer that is willing to kill imaginary friends for a price, not usually for children, but for adults, where the imaginary friends have overstayed their welcome. But in this case, he's going to make an exception because the imaginary friend is dangerous. Yeah, it sounds really cool, very imaginative, as you would expect from imaginary friend book. So if you would like to read this indie gem with us, I will have a link to the book club down below. But there's a couple of book events going on in March as well that I can't wait to participate in. The first one is the Week of Weird, which is the first week of March. Week of Weird is hosted by Fiber Artsy and Jason White. The prompts this year for the Week of Weird, first one is to read horror poetry. No, not horror poetry, weird poetry. Weird, any kind of weird poetry. This is a prompt I love. I love horror poetry, and weird poetry is kind of my thing. I haven't read any in a while, so I'm very excited for this prompt and reading some more poetry. There's a collection I've had for a while, Unquiet Stars, poems by Anne K. Schweider. This is a collection put out by Weird House, and it is a collection from a Riesling award-winning speculative poet. When I glance through, it seems very dark themes, which is, perfect for me. And this says she is unquestionably one of the leading weird poets of our time. Love that cover. Very weird cover. So, it speaks highly that it will be indeed weird poetry. Speculative, dark, and weird. Love it. Another prompt is to read from a story from Weird Tales. Weird Tales is a magazine that's been going since, I don't even know when it started, but I think the 1920s. I might be wrong about that. Years, time, what even is it? But I chose Weird Tales issue 363, so one of the more modern issues. There's a bunch of the issues available on my Hoopla. I was so excited. I put all of them on my favorites list so I can read them eventually. But this is the one I picked for now. There's a story from Victor Laval. There's one from Josh Mallerman. There's one from Jonathan Mayberry. So yeah, it should be a great collection. I'm going to read the whole issue, not just one story. So I'm looking forward to that. Some weird stories. And another prompt is to read the group read story, which is The Road to Sinharat by Lee Brackett. I believe this is a weird science fiction story. It's only 60-something pages, so another one I should be able to read no problem in the week. So, little book of poetry, magazine with, I think, 6 stories in it, and The Road to Sinharat. The other prompt is to watch a weird movie, and I have some plans for weird movies. I don't know which one officially I'm gonna pick, but there's a bunch I could pick. I love weird movies. And the other event that I'll be participating the entire month, probably as soon as I finish these tiny things for Week of Weird, I'll be starting my big Mammoths, which the March of the Mammoths I do every year. It's hosted by Old Blues Chapter and Verse, and I have 3 big books, over 800 pages to start in March. I probably won't finish them all. This readathon is about starting the big books you put off. I'm going to start them and work my way through them slowly. The first one, and they're all very different, so yeah, I'm really excited to read these books. The first one is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. And this is another big historical romance, which apparently is my thing. This one is during World War II, and I can't wait. I can't wait. This is my thing now. I'm so excited to read another historical romance, and I hope it is just as epic. And my edition of The Bronze Horseman is 810 pages. It just has to be epic. World War II, 810 pages. Like, if it's not epic, like, what are filling all those pages? Next, I will be reading Shadows Upon Time, which is the final book in the Sun Eater series. I've been reading through this series all through 2025, and finally I'm to the last book. It's 928 pages. That's a long one, wow. But it's gonna be epic as well. I can't wait for the finale, the big ending to this huge sci-fi series. Loving this series. It's one of my favorites now. And the last mammoth I plan on reading in March is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. An absolute classic, must read. We'll see how I get on with Russian classics because I haven't read any yet. Right, yeah, so especially this one I'll be working through slowly, I'm sure, to make sure I get everything I can out of this wonderful story. Those are my main plans for March reading. There are other books for book clubs and things that I plan on reading. My full TBR will be on Instagram if you want to see the other books that I'll be reading in March. Or possibly reading in March. It's more of a pile of possibilities. These are the main ones though. The last thing I want to share with you are the books I've gotten so far in February. One of them I got at the end of January, but it was after my update video. But let's start with the books I got from Pango this month in February. I've been selling quite a few books lately, and so I bought some with my credit. Yay. Okay, the first one, I've heard people talking about this lately. I don't really know much about it. I guess it is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. And this is like a deluxe edition. It's very pretty. Got this one used on Pango. It's so pretty. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more fantasy romance in the near future. Speaking of which, I also picked up A Court of Wings of Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the next book I need to read for the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Book 3. It's much bigger than the first two. Wow. I really like book 2, and I want to see where it goes. I also got Pawn's Gambit by Rob J. Hayes. Been wanting to read Rob J. Hayes, and this one is the one that was available on Pango. So pick that one up. It's a mortal technique story. Okay, so it's book 2 after Never Die. So I'll have to read Never Die before this one. Never Die was not on Pango, so I am ready for book 2. I also got Whispers in the Deep by Emma Hamm. Monster romance, mermaid romance, or merman, I guess. Merman romance. Ooh, inside art. Wow, that's cool. Sometimes you just want a merman romance in your life. Those are the books I got from Pango in February. I also got a book I pre-ordered quite a while ago from Barnes & Noble through, well, it's a book put out from the Broken Binding, and I bought it through Barnes & Noble. And that is Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. These were independently published, and then Broken Binding picked it up and made this beautiful reprint. It is a signed edition, and this is a series I've been wanting to read for a long time, and now I have a beautiful copy, signed copy, to do so. I'm trying to decide if I'll read The Fall, the novella, first, or just jump right into book 1. I've heard both ways work. I have The Fall as well, ebook. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have my Book of the Month book, and I picked out It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. Thriller. Author I've heard of. That's why I picked it. I do love a good thriller. Then I have the books from my Nightworms package for February. Both of these I am so excited for. They're books that have been on my radar and I really want to read. So exciting. First is Maria the Wanted by V. Castro. V. Castro, it's a author I like and have read before. And this is I believe it's vampire story. Let's see. It's a horror thriller pulsing with rage, fear, and desire that explores a vampire woman's determination to find her place in the world. Beautiful cover. And then on Sunday, she picked Flowers by Yaya Schofield. Another beautiful cover. And this one was on my radar after I saw a glowing review from Fiber Artsy. There's signed book plates for both. This one says it's atmospheric and engrossing. It's a debut novel. It's one of the most visceral, intense, brutal, and yet honest works of horror I've read in a long time. From P. Jelly Clark. Huh. Just 2 left, and they are the most beautiful books I've ever seen. First, I have my Owl Crate for February horror, and it's The Body by Bethany C. Morrow. It has these shiny metallic red edges. Creepy hands. It reminds me of like the hand in Talk to Me. Creepy hands on it. Interior end pages. And then, like, it's the red, if you kind of fold the pages up, it has different edges. I've never seen that before. That's so cool. It's because of these little edges along each page, and it makes a full picture if you just fold the edges up a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. It's got the ribbon and it is hand signed. It is a gorgeous book. The back of the book, or back of the cover, I think is just a color changed version of the original cover. I think that's what they usually do. My last book for this haul is the one I received at the end of January. It's my Twisted Retreat book for January. A beautiful edition of The Autumn Springs Retirement Massacre by Phil Fracassi. One of my favorite books from 2025. It has this amazing slipcase with it. I could not believe this. Oh, slipcase version. Kind of a big deal. This book was such a great get for Twisted Retreat. Oh my gosh. Here's the foiled cover. Dust jacket. Oh, the reverse dust jacket is very cool as well. I don't know. Wow. Very cool. Naked hardback. Edges. Oh, lots of little details from the book on there. End pages have Autumn Springs Retirement Home. Back is the old building that's behind the retirement home. Was it asylum or? Not sure. I can't remember what it was. I need to reread it. Good thing I have a beautiful copy. I can do that. Here's the signature page. What a gorgeous book. Yeah, that was my... I can't believe it. It is so beautiful. A new prized possession. Can't believe it has a slipcase. That's so freaking cool. It's got the ribbon up as well. Red ribbon. Okay, so those are all the books I've gotten since my last update. Some of the plans for March. my indie horror book club pick. Again, link down below. I would love to know if you are planning to participate in the Week of Weird or March of the Mammoths. If so, what books, what mammoth are you planning on tackling? Love to hear that. Are you reading folklore this month? Love to hear about it down in the comments, and I'll be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.